the full animated short at playoverwatch.com.
B-Step are up 1-0 over No Tomorrow, but No Tomorrow's not going down without a fight. I want to see some of the crazy, aggressive compositions and strategies that they pulled out versus Naventic last week.
Yeah, I would like to see it too. And, you know, I mean, there is room to be able to do it. Battlefield of Eternity doesn't really, you know, allow you to be able to bust out, you know, the most unique and craziest of strategies. So maybe on the next one.
Well, we can see what that next one will be. Let's head back into the Battleground pool. Now, it is a loser's pick format, so having lost the last game, B-Step, No Tomorrow gets to choose if they want first pick again or if they want the map pick instead. And before, they have been going for first pick, but switching that up a little bit, wanting to go to a place where we know No Tomorrow feels very comfortable, and that is Dragon Shire.
Yeah, and in the past, the players of B-Step, I know specifically, really didn't like Dragon Shire for some time. I don't know if I would look at them anymore. You know, they could have completely gotten different favor. They also used to dominate Sky Temple, haven't done too well at that either recently. So, I mean, it could change, but Dragon Shire itself is one where every player has to be on the same page, and if not, things can get really ugly really fast. A perfect example was Naventic with the Jaina pickup. What they were able to do to their opponents was, you know, just blow the game out of proportion. So if not everybody is really up to snuff, if you will, onto what needs to be able to happen on this map, it could really punish B-Step.
Yeah, No Tomorrow, the last time when they did play versus Naventic, it was something like 22 kills to 9 because of all of the Jaina play. And also No Tomorrow kept having this issue where they get behind and then have a hard time with figuring out what they need to do to get back into the game. Are you seeing what I'm seeing as a hover?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, you gotta troll.
Okay.
You gotta troll every once in a while.
Yeah.
Artan is banned. No Tomorrow now. Questioning if they want to remove the Tassadar or the Ragnaros, or if they want to be able to let those through. They ban out the Tassadar. I think that's the smart choice here when it comes to this map, or I can see you know, letting both through, but Tassadar, what he provides this map is probably just way too much. I can see the pull away there. Either way, B-Step now looking for their first pick. Any thoughts?
Since the only team that favors Dragon Shire in all of HGC North America is No Tomorrow, B-Step have not played on it yet. I know that they're going to be looking at who a strong solo laner could be. In that respect, potentially they're going to bring back Thrall at some point. They've played Rexar in the past if they want to go that route as well. He's one that Misha can just hold the shrine all day, and everyone else has a hard time dealing with the dynamic duo. Wave clear is necessary. We might see them try to get their Vala again, one that both teams have been liking and one that's doing really well in HGC North America so far.
Yeah, the Vala is a big pickup, but I don't know if I consider it the first pick worthy. It might be. It might be.
Might be Malfurion, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the priority. Oh, false.
Or just Falstad sticking to the global value here for B-Step. So now No Tomorrow, when we see them on this map, they have gone with the heavy Tychus, and we've seen the Artanis out from them, which is obviously banned out here as well with the Artanis Malfurion. So with this, they pick up the Malfurion still, but then move into the Ragnaros. It feels very norm so far.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody accepts, you know, other than maybe the Falstad a little bit out of order from the norm. You know, everything's sticking to traditional North American meta so far.
Now B-Step with 2 more picks. I'm wondering if they care about getting a specific support, and now seeing Malfurion may want to get it before, but otherwise I think they're looking at some warrior here. It's just whether or not Varian or Diablo EDC Thrall. So they're going to bring in Thrall again.
Yeah, so we're going to see the Thrall pick up once more. I was expecting more of a Dahaka route for them in the top lane focus, but maybe, you know, that's the new hero for K1 Pro possibly. Who knows? We'll find out as they pick it up here. No Tomorrow now has a couple of routes they can go with both the supports picked up. Probably not. It's going to be more on warrior or backline focus that they want to be able to remove here for B-Step. I'm going to say I would put a lot of focus onto the 4-man itself with the Thrall in the top lane. Expect B-Step to concentrate onto actually, not even with the Ragnaros picked up, he will be the 1v1er for No Tomorrow. So maybe not even consider the choke onto the top laners. More just about what wave clear No Tomorrow wants in their 4-man.
What do you think about
Tychus ban?
No Tomorrow doing something like Diablo, maybe even Zeratul, and just going for that Wombo?
They could. I think it's an option. It's probably the least appealing. Not the least. That's not true. Dragon Shire, it's harder to be able to get away from that.
Yeah, because everyone's spread out, making their own
yes.
decisions. A lot of small skirmishes versus the big B5 engagements.
Yeah, and that's the fact that kind of makes me hope they don't move in that route. It is an opportunity, though. If they do, then I want to see the Jaina as a part of it because she complements the 4-man, the wave clear, and the kill potential. The Zeratul ban, though, so it's not even going to be an option here. No tomorrow. Can pick up whatever they want. I expect the Vala. And I'm guessing it's going to be a Dahaka or ETC here for No Tomorrow. There's the ETC. There's no way Vala makes it through this rotation, right? Yeah, they go for the Tychus over the Vala. That was what they did before. Week 1, I believe, they prioritized Tychus over Vala. They prioritized Tychus higher than almost every other team in North America. Then they pulled away. They considered the Vala in week number 2 a little bit. They're like, you know, she's not a bad hero. And they're back to the roots. They're sticking to the Tychus is worth more than the Vala, even on maps where the having wave clear is a consideration.
That has been Jason's favorite hero so far.
There is one argument to why Tychus is better on Dragon Shire than Vala, which has existed in the past, and a lot of it is just he's the only one out of most assassins that can roam top and actually confirm the kill by himself. You don't need more. So, like, you feign the rotation, you're doing 1-4, 1-4, 1-4, and then Tychus just goes, I'm going to go top. Jaina's, like, the only other one that can confirm the kill on her own. With Tychus, you get the flank, open with your minigun, proceed to kill him all the way down, throw the grenade last second. It's usually a kill, so maybe that is the focus there for the Tychus. But now B-Step, where are they going to move? They need their frontliners here. Diablo and Jaina is the route. Is K1 Pro not going to be on that Jaina? That's going to be.
Man, I don't know.
That's going to be. That is going to be.
Jaina and Falstad. Falstad was another K1 Pro classic too.
If he's on Thrall, I don't know what's happening anymore.
What's happening for No Tomorrow? They need one pick left. Probably Tychus, played by Jason.
Zarya.
But it could be Talking Trees. If No Tomorrow get another melee, then Talking Trees will play Tychus. And Jason could play Zarya. He's also played Ragnaros before, although I think that Casanova is stronger as a Ragnaros player for the team.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. They don't have kill potential now that B-Step has the Jaina. They lose when it comes to that. They don't win in wave clear either, and I don't know what direction they can go to make up for that other than like a Johanna to accent the wave clear and negate like a little bit of the kill potential. But let's be honest, what that means for your team fight in the later half is not something you want to draft out here. So something in the 4 that can deal with the poke, but then also a bit of wave clear.
Okay. So now we can put Ragnaros
in the 4, which would be an interesting approach. Definitely not a bad one. The wave clear he provides would be huge. You don't want Dahaka in the 4-man because no mount, and the matchup is far more appealing for him in the top lane with Thrall, so I like the Dahaka.
Dahaka for sure is in the top, though, because you could make the argument that he brushed Stalkers up to do the global, like, surprise!
Okay, so that could be the variation you could do with this draft is using the Tychus and the Dahaka, so sending Dahaka in the 4-man, committing as Tychus feigns the rotation, get the flank, Tychus shows, Dahaka burrows, proceed to get the kill. It is an option, but it's not. It can't happen every rotation. Every minion wave that spawns, you weren't going to see that transition. It's just, a cool play they can do with their draft more than the overall. And I think Ragnaros' wave clear is too high to neglect and too weak in the 1v1 to really put more focus on. You need that mount from the Dahaka. Otherwise, Jaina's going to hit one Frostbolt and is like, I'm dead. That's it. Good night. Hopefully my team's near me. If not, I can burrow, and that's the end of it.
I wonder if we'll see a change up to the Ragnaros build, or if he still feels confident that he can stack along with his teammates. Granted, they're more coordinated than, say, your average Hero League match where you're trying to stack. You're like, hey, can you not kill that? Oh, you're going to kill. Okay, well, thank you. I'll get my stacks in about 10 minutes. Yeah. That'd be great. We're ready for game number 2 on Dragon Shire between No Tomorrow and B-Step. We'll see you there.
It is interesting. I would put Ragnaros in the 4-man even if you don't have to take this Q for him to be relevant. You can still take W and it'd be okay. So if you really were worried about your stacking, it might not happen instantly. It probably will be fine. As we see, he did move into the Q here. But I guess what I'm trying to say, if Ragnaros is in the 4-man, you don't have to Q. But even if you do Q and you get it a little bit slower, it's not that detrimental. It's not nearly, for me, it's not near the trade-off of having the Dahaka committing to my 4-man than having, making sure Ragnaros gets the solo.
And it might honestly
And
just
they're
be because they can rotate, he could still get the stacks fast anyway. It's a pretty easy quest talent to achieve.
Yeah, and we see ETC is actually flanking from above, and they're committing. All right, so nobody there. Nobody's going to be scouted out.
B-Step are sitting, so they're going to be the opposite rotations, starting off in the bottom, trying to push that lane as fast as they can. Nobody from No Tomorrow yet being able to rotate down there, just now starting. Dahaka goes to the top, Casanova will be the one who is in the bottom, and these minions will be caught in time for No Tomorrow.
I respect what B-Step is doing right now, but it's counterintuitive. Okay, so, oh man, this is interesting. So why push the counter lane? It's usually because of your fear of wave clear is not keeping up with your opponents, or you're afraid of the kill potential of your opponents.
But Jaina!
B-Step wins in both those departments. So the fact that they were like, nah, we don't want to battle in mid, and then the fact that they were committing to the bottom, it's not typically why we see that approach.
Wait, what if it was to push that lane, make everyone scared from No Tomorrow to move down, and then they move Falstad up? No Tomorrow isn't paying attention to that. They're more worried about the bottom, and then maybe Falstad and Thrall net an early kill on Dahaka.
That could be it too. We've got a lot of top lane theories here, and it's kind of, but I mean, it makes sense. This is really what Dragon Shire is for. It is a very unique map where individual decision-making and quick rotations set apart a good from a great team. As we do see this rotation to bottom, it's going to be a 3 versus 3. B-Step look like they're going to be able to back out. And also, side note, we didn't bring this up, thankfully, K1 Pro, in fact, is on the Jaina.
Right.
All is still right in the world of K1 Pro for now. But yeah, that could be it. What if it's pressure on the bottom to be able to get the Falstad transition? But I don't look at Falstad into the Ragnaros 1v1, since we're running a 1-1-3, by the way, for both these teams. I don't look at that and go, I guess that was the most optimal solution here?
Well, Ragnaros did move down, but Dahaka was just like, okay, Falstad is gone, so I'm just going to play safely. I played by the towers, and there was never the chance for Thrall and Falstad to go for the kill without diving underneath towers and maybe being able to have Dahaka drag some of the towers of their own.
Yeah, and okay, so another thing to note when looking at the laning decisions for both these teams, specifically No Tomorrow, they've kind of committed themselves to a 1-1-4 with 2 dominant laners. It's not the first time we've seen that, especially on Dragon Shire, but every time it's ran before, it's actually run in top and bottom, where your solo laners are, increasing the distance, run a 3-man through mid, get the wave clear, and then proceed to commit to one of the 2, making the top lane not nearly as dominant, as it may want. No. Oh, he got him. First blood here for B-Step. There's McIntyre confirms the auto over the wall. But again, just looking at No Tomorrow, they are putting their solos so close to one another. There's been a lot of interesting decisions made, at least.
That one was great from B-Step, though. They had both of the shrines. Ragnaros wanted to head down to go to join up with the rest of No Tomorrow. Couldn't do it. B-Step realized that only Ragnaros was there to try to defend, and he'd have to move out at least a little bit, especially if he'd already used Meteor once to stall out Falstad from getting the Dragon Knight. Out goes Ragnaros. Jaina moves in, slows him down, puts the Blizzard, of course, on the gate. It's a classic Jaina move, and that gets First Blood. Now B-Step, along with First Blood, getting the first Dragon Knight of the game. Casanova's going to defend it in the bottom by himself, just put on what damage he can to B-Step and deter them from moving in any further to the fort, while the rest of No Tomorrow continues to soak and hold off the dragon in mid.
Yeah, things are working out very well here for B-Step, even though, again, it is No Tomorrow's map pick and probably the most comfortable team on Dragon Shire out of all North America, at least when it comes to priority and picking for themselves. 7 talents here is not available for yet. We do see Cap going in there for the stun. Urho with the power slide follow-up. Will APM go down? Jaina's dropped the Blizzard. Trees is coming in from the right-hand side, though. He might have enough. Oh, he opened with the grenade. That cost him the kill.
No, and Urho gets stopped by McIntyre.
If he had opened with the Q, then you hit your E the minute that it's out of Q range, and then max range W, I think he had the kill, but by opening with that, it stops you. It makes you sit still, for those who don't know.
If he was trying to throw him back.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of reasons I can see why you go into that direction, but it kept him alive. So we do see APM is going to live another day. And No Tomorrow is now 3/4 of a level behind. Things haven't worked out. Didn't manage to be able to get the first, Dragon Knight phase. And more surprising than anything is the fact that iDream is dominating that top lane as heavily as he is. Into the Dahaka.
Well, Casanova's been picking up more and more talents that help with this Dark Swarm. You know, Primal Aggression's the standard. The build typically deviates from there. We have 2 that different teams choose between, but here going for 1 who collects and then getting Symbiosis too. Can he have a drag? Does get a good drag, and that allows it with Dark Swarm to move into the body block position, and finally No Tomorrow get their first kill.
Yeah, very well done being able to get that before the barrel roll comes into play there. And now 10's going to be picked up significantly earlier. Now Dragon Knight phase is going to be spawning soon. Soon enough that No Tomorrow will be behind, but because they do have a global into a global, they might be able to hold off for a second to be able to pick up that 10 here, but we'll see if B-Step can take advantage of the small window. They're already prepping well by getting the Giants here. If they get the Knights on top of it, things are going to be fantastic. And it looks like instead they're going to go with a 3-2 split with only looking towards the Giants.
B-Step need to realize, or No Tomorrow need to realize that not everybody from B-Step is here. Cleanse has to be used, as well as Burrow and Dark Swarm. Also using Essence to heal himself back up. Here comes Talking Trees too. Gus throwing a lot of the members of No Tomorrow back. But B-Step might lose Diablo here.
Yeah, Jaina is still on the bottom as well. Ancestral is forced to be used here by APM. Giants are wailing away at the bottom half of the map, but Dahaka's going to go ahead and burrow right on down. K1 Pro has committed here to the fort, as Jason's going to go ahead and backdoor the shrine for a moment. And now the full collapse. K1 Pro, you know, it's a...
Ring! Oh. Well, maybe he could have just tried to take someone down with him, but not Jason. He had the souls or the essence needed to heal himself back up. He did get adaptation too, so now he has multiple ways of self-sustaining himself.
That's a moment here for No Tomorrow to be able to come back. It's just whether or not they make the rotations. B-Step has done a very good job when it comes to their transitions, even though, you know, a couple questionable when looking at the, you know, Jaina and what wave to push first. But overall, when it comes down to the ones that I guess are really game-breaking, they have done them very, very well. Combo coming out the calf drag as well. And Nade should be not enough there. APM barely getting the heal. And so another moment where B-Step escapes with their life, but No Tomorrow. These kind of forcing the backs of B-Step like this one by one, this is huge. On Dragon Shire, that kind of stuff can't happen. You have to be able to sustain in the lanes for a long period of time because all it takes is half a second of losing those shrines, and the Dragon Knight goes the other way.
But now No Tomorrow have to move up and get the shrine in top, even allowing the Bruisers to push onto their structures because the swap happened in B-Step. The rest of them, minus Diablo, moved down and got bottom. And No Tomorrow really don't want to have to be in the situation where all of a sudden nobody is defending in mid and both of the shrines are there for B-Step, because then you have that scary time where you want to just all 5 be in mid, not allowing somebody from B-Step to engage, but you have to send somebody eventually and pick up a shrine if you can't get a kill. And with B-Step still being ahead in experience, that was it'd be a risky thing to have to do for No Tomorrow. So instead, No Tomorrow get another shrine. They're going to even go for a mosh pit too. Cleanse gets him out of there. Ring of Frost on the backside of that mosh pit. And now it's Airho and Talking Trees are in trouble. Apocalypse, a beautiful follow-up from King Caffeine and 2 quick kills. Probably going to be 3. Jason doing what he can. Burrows, oh, it's Sulfury Smash. The Burrow was just long enough for Jason to heal back up. This is chaos. iDream gets pulled back in, but has Ancestral healing for B-Step still. One another overpower and another kill for B-Step.
Yeah, and Casanova's going to be going down here as well. Instant rotation for B-Step as Caffeine's going to be looking, never mind, McIntyre instead is going to be making that flight towards top. Picking up this, a Dragon Knight going over, camps are going to be started. Everything is looking good here for B-Step. Already 1 game up over No Tomorrow. And a lot of that came down to, obviously, the initiation with the solo mosh, maybe not necessarily the best. But beyond all else, the biggest impact of that team fight specifically was Tiger JK's failure to commit to the situation that he was in. You could tell he was going, all right, is this where I go in and I counter-initiate with the Twilight Dream? Well, it's only 3 people, so that could be a waste of Heroic. And then eventually more people trickled in, but that was as his team was dying, so that cooldown used way after the fight, and it got to a position where there was no response. So B-Step here, they're doing a very good job punishing with their Jaina Diablo composition. But No Tomorrow, you know, not opening up the fights necessarily as clean as they definitely want.
No Tomorrow were starting to make a comeback too. They hadn't gotten too many kills, but in the instance of being able to make people go back like Diablo and move back onto the battleground a little bit, because B-Step with their wave clear and the control of the first 2 Dragon Knights of this game have started to put real pressure on the structures of No Tomorrow, and that starts to make it harder and harder for you to get back onto the map and start to look at getting a shrine. Oh, Gust and Punt, and iDream saved by his team.
Yes and no. So that was actually Urho W'd that, and he knocked it out of the Sulfura Smash and knocked him outside of the roof. Then the Gus came in to save his team. It would have been cool, but Urho with that W, he just, all the heroics he used to be able to get that pick, to be able to catch up here, not being on the same page, which was one of the bigger selling points of No Tomorrow in week number 1 was the rotations were sloppy, but at least the heroics, they pressed the R button at the same time. They knew what they were going to be doing there. And so far for both these teams, their initiations have been very discoordinated.
Molten Core is being used to siege down. Here comes Jason and Arrow with body blocks. Not necessarily one you would see from body blocks is a Dahaka. Actually, yeah, that's a great one for that. And ETC goes down to another Ring of Frost from K1 Pro. And now Tiger JK is in a terrible position. The B-Step body blocks.
Very well done.
Constant kills for B-Step.
And you just see this composition on the side of B-Step. Just once No Tomorrow goes a little bit too far, they just do such a good job there with the Thrall, with the Jaina. There is no escape. The Apocalypse comes down. I mean, that was a 3-man Apocalypse in this last fight.
Here we go. Break it down.
The 3-man stun on the APOC, the ring perfect width. Like, not only did the APOC hit, they hit at the perfect distance for the ring to hit all 3 people. And at that point, when you have a Malfurion support, there is no keeping everybody alive.
Right.
Like, if you haven't Twilight Dreamed before that ring collapses, your team is dead. And it's not even necessarily his fault because, again, you have the Earthquake coming and slowing everybody. It's just B-Step is doing such a good job in this game.
I keep thinking that Jason's the one playing Tychus here because he normally is for No Tomorrow, but Jason, as Dahaka, has been going in trying to get body blocks, and he and Erho are melting to the Jaina. There's no way for them to try to even hope to sustain through, and that's troublesome for them in this game, that they can't even just get through the damage that Jaina puts out. Either someone needs to be able to dodge all of those heroic abilities that are coming in, or it's going to be a quick second game for B-Step.
Yeah, very much so. I think the biggest change I would like to see is just that heavy commitment to getting a kill onto one target and forcing B-Step to, get the response. But the minute APOC is used, we have to see a Twilight Dream. We can't see Earthquake, APOC, and Ring used and then looking for the Twilight. The Twilight has to come out somewhere in that trio, make the coordination between APOC and Ring not be able to land perfectly. Even if it forces a Gus, that's a winning trade for No Tomorrow. And until they manage to make that happen, I don't see them winning these team fights.
We'll see if No Tomorrow can turn around this game because they are about to get 16. And that will be a welcome talent tier in the midst of all of this madness. They are down 7 kills so far, and Shrines have started. And here is 16.
The rotation here for B-Step, it looks like everybody's going to try and transition towards bottom. You always want to fight on whatever shrine you actually you need rather than the one you hold. That APOC was very optimistic. 2-man, 3-man. Oh man, the Sulfura Smash come in as well. Oh, the Ancestral, the nuke, everything is turning around B-Step for a moment. Oh, so well done.
But that, to be honest, started off of APOC not being in a position or an area where the follow-up could be there. Everyone from No Tomorrow got out except Malfurion, and he had Ice Block to get through. He went back, and Arrow finally finding people clumped. Turnaround was quick.
But a lot of that came down to the fact that Apocalypse was, so you don't have to be able to be fearful of that whenever you end up using it yourself.
Yeah.
Not only being able to get the people grouped, but the poor Apocalypse and not having the ults on the same page and worked in unison was the main reason that fight was going to be so successful for No Tomorrow. And it very well done, but they need to be able to make sure that rather than accepting the mistake of King Caffeine, they need to be able to force it themselves through Tiger JK, through the Twilight Dreams there. It's a moment here for them in this game. They're able to turn the momentum. They just need to make sure that during the next one that they don't rely on Caff making the same mistake twice. Instead, they force it.
No Tomorrow have to be very careful about sieging here. They have to watch out for any flanks. iDream and King Caffeine are looking at it. There's a good route to stop it, and here comes Molten Core from Casanova now. If all the members of No Tomorrow need to keep making sure that everybody from B-Step is back away from Casanova, because there is a potential for B-Step to jump on top of Ragnaros as he's coming out of Molten Core. So this is a good setup, good flank. ETC's watching, King Caffeine constantly, and Jason's just about through the Dragon Knight as Molten Core concludes.
Yeah, and that was a tough moment there. Tiger JK almost out of position, but Jason there with the punt will be able to save him. And it looks like they're going to forfeit the rest of this Dragon Knight. It's going to go down. They're worried about the next phasing here. Both the teams have only one global, putting in a position to really you can say these teams are almost dead even, minus the 1/4 that exists on the top.
And even if No Tomorrow got one kill and could force that up there, it might be what gets them ahead, although both are almost to level 20 and getting Storm Talons. So once they get that, and that's all the worries, at least from being behind those pivotal tiers, to be able to get into fight.
Both teams backing out towards their Giants. I'm trying to figure out if one team gains the advantage at 20, and I would say it's No Tomorrow. It gets a step up when it comes to 20, just purely on having the bolt opportunity for Malfurion and him being so crucial to the success of the composition on the side of No Tomorrow. But other than that, obviously the globals typically are going to be moving towards, getting that up faster to be able to have that shrine control. ETC always has got some clever ones he can kind of pull out. Pin against the wall, slow's going to land. But B-Step backing out, worrying more about the 20.
Here's an unorthodox talent for Falstad. After burner, after barrel roll, you have increased movement speed by 60%, which decays. He did move into the Seasoned Marksman, Giant Killer, so more of an auto attack focus than having Gathering Storm.
And a 20 going, not having the Epic Mount.
Nexus Frenzy instead. But it is a small battleground, a smaller one, so not having Epic Mount I think maybe isn't as crucial, but it is nice to have when you're looking at trying to switch out from the shrines.
I can tell you if he loses one person at this point in the game, he's going to wish he had Epic Mount. That's what it comes down to, is because your delay potential is insane. Mosh pit there instantly going to be interrupted. Urho is in the opposite side of his team. APOC lands, not going to hit on the Tiger JK. Bolt's going to come out right there. Jason now gets the flank onto K1 Pro. The drag lands. Will he go down? Ice block. Casanova's there. And can he confirm? Ancestral lands. Twilight Dream comes in. APM's going down. Jason looks like he wants more, as Cap might be the drag target. No, the slow. 1-for-1 trade. Very well done for these teams. And now it looks like they're going to back out, get the respective shrines. B-Step moving to top, whereas No Tomorrow moving towards bottom. But now we have to consider level 20 talents here. One thing we have to be looking at is the fact that we talked about Falstad, his struggle, not moving into the Epic Mount, and that we see Apex Predator, which means No Tomorrow actually gained a huge upper hand. Not only the Malfurion, but not matching the double global speed here is now going to allow for huge control whenever they're on even footing, at least down one person for both sides. That momentum that really Dahaka can get on the pressure onto the map should be able to heavily outweigh now that of Falstad.
I really thought that fight was going to be the end of No Tomorrow.
With that initiation?
Arrow went in, Moshpit went down, Sulfura Smash hit, but the cleanse came out and APM saved the person who was inside of it. But the turnaround, especially from Jason to flank onto JNF, force out improved ice block, was huge.
It's the Twilight Dream. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, he had to bolt out, too.
Yes, yeah, but it's the fact that not all the R buttons were pressed in unison at the exact same time on the side of B-Step, which is the main goal there for the Twilight Dream use. And that was enough to, even with a poor initiation, to counter a lot of what B-Step was looking to make happen in that fight. And No Tomorrow now have the upper hand. There's going to be the Jason with the Burrow.
He's looking at iDream. Everyone else was focusing on Diablo. Cleanse has been used. Earthquake, Jason's got up in front. There goes Apocalypse, but Tunneling Claws keeps Jason alive. Ringer Frost has hit 2 members, but Jason is still in the back, causing chaos. Gets rooted and taken out immediately. Here comes Sulfura Smash, but a beautiful ice block. K1 Pro walks away with his life. Moshpit in the back. Finally, iDream goes down. It's a 1-for-1.
Oh, but it's both teams are even there. No, Tomorrow end up losing one more. Cap is trying to get the ice block as the heals are coming in on the Casanova. There's going to be the root. Odin wailing away. Nuke is laid down. Cap barely going to get hit. He ends up going 2 for 2 now. Diablo, though, has the souls. He'll be right on back here as he sells his soul to the devil. My goodness, that ice block, though. What? Just the hesitation on the side of Casanova was just enough to be able to allow the time to get that ice block, kept K1 Pro alive, and he is the sole reason his team has a small advantage here on Dragon Shire. Very well done. That was impressive.
Now, B-Step looking to use that advantage to get the next Dragon Knight. Falstad's heading up to the top. Can they get it, though? All of No Tomorrow are at least getting some mercenary camps and heading up to top. They know this is probably where McIntyre is heading, but they're not going to get there in time, so instead kind of waffling where they're going to go, going to the middle.
Yeah, it's going to not be enough here as Jason makes that transition. Falstad did walk to top, though, so that's a very important piece. So now what BStep wants to try and do is essentially apply enough pressure onto a different part of the map. They're actually going to swap. They're going to send 4 top, Falstad onto bottom, look to be able to get that flight. Again, you always, when you have a global, want to choose a fight to the one you desire, not the one you possess, because it drastically increases the odds of getting a Dragon Knight. But I can't help but feel like BStep's Falstad is way too far back. The power slide bolt, Cleanse is already going to be used. There's a nuke laid down, so Furious Smash, I Dream, barely going to retreat and survive. Falstad ends up getting the flight there. Cap using his 20. The Ring of Frost lands. APOC is used. The Submerge, though. Urho is going to be overpowered over both these teams even for now. Urho instantly deleted. Ancestral is going to land. Jason goes down on the Dahaka as well. BStep now gets this barrel roll. The Gust as well, putting him in a wall. Tiger JK's ice blocking, but sadly that is going to be melting soon.
Yeah, and he has no Twilight Dream coming out of that. Malfurion's out. Diablo's been taken down, so at least Casanova and Talking Trees have gotten 1 kill away from BStep. But is it enough to stop BStep from getting a Dragon Knight?
It is not enough with the fact that Falstad survived and the fact that we saw Dahaka get killed.
I was worried for Casanova's life, but he made the safe play and went back. Tychus is going to head to the bottom, but there's a mercenary camp pushing too. Yeah, that's going to show. Nobody is in the mid yet. Ragnaros is heading there now. No Tomorrow doing what they can to stop a Dragon Knight that could spell the end of the game for the team. Trees gets to the bottom.
He ends up getting to the bottom there and getting the channel, stopping the Dragon Knight. But look at this fight again, just the plays that they were able to make happen. And a lot of this is, just, the early initiation not looking good, the ring coming in, beautiful heroics as a response. But more than anything, the thing that stood out to me was in that, the power slide, the overpower into the Shadow Charge, pinning the Haka away, being able to confirm the kill. The Gust attempt was pretty, but we quite frequently see with B-Step, when you gust into the wall and there's no follow-up, it's not as neat,
Okay, Dahaka has 1 stall, but may lose his life for it. There's Tunneling Claws using his adaptation to heal back up, so it's a heroic down at the start of this fight as Gust's been used too, so it's a 1-for-1 in heroic trades. Dahaka starting to head to bottom, so soon the pressure will be off of No Tomorrow, and No Tomorrow does it. They stop a B-Step Dragon Knight, but they may lose somebody for it here.
The ring. Oh my gosh, the Cleanse is used as well.
So
Casanova turns. The Mosh Pit, it's going to be attempted there. 3-man APOC hits, but that's 1-for-1 trade. K1 Pro ends up using the Ice Block already. Tiger JK's in a tough spot. The Odin is laid. We won't be able to survive as the zoning onto K1 happens, but a 1-for-2 trade. B-Step now has the upper hand, but they lost their global, whereas Dahaka still stands on the opposite side of the map. This is a game on our hands. Well, it didn't look like it for a moment. In just one fight, No Tomorrow here has managed to push it to that later parts of the game.
Man, I know that feel. When you Odin, because you're in a tough spot, you're like, maybe if I can just Odin, then at least I get the resistance, especially with Big Red Button. But now there's no Odin for 60 seconds, even though Tychus is up in 30, and it may not have it for the defense unless, once again, No Tomorrow can pull off this miracle hold. Tiger JK, again, is going to at least stop. He doesn't take the Shrine completely, but Jason moves down too. Here comes Airho as well. Can Jason catch King Caffeine?
That burrow might cost him a lot here. We'll see if it works out. The Overpower, the Shadow Charge is going to be used. Rhaegar is making the transition towards mid. There's no way they can knock them off of this. That's going to be the support picking up this 24-minute Dragon Knight, 8 p.m. there. So that is a weakness here for B-Step. No Tomorrow might be able to just all in and confirm a kill.
Force a fight and make APM drop Dragon Knight. Might be the best option.
Yeah, that's what they should be looking to do to get the flank here. They're going to clear out their mid transition down. There's the anchor coming out from the Diablo, as you would expect. But really, I think if they even get a drag, anything, just all in, commitment to the lack of cleanse, lack of ancestral healing available on the side of B-Step. If No Tomorrow wants to have a shot here, because that's a minute Dragon Knight, minute left on a 24-minute Dragon Knight.
And then I remember one of the best team fights I ever saw was when Ballistics L5 did that exact same thing to MVP Black. They forced a fight onto a team that had a Dragon Knight, and because of that, they won the game when they were behind. So so far, No Tomorrow have not done that. Talking Trees is just using Odin. It did come back online in order to stall as long as they can for the defense. And so did Casanova use Molten Core just to keep the keep alive. But now Molten Core's over, B-Step want to re-engage. They want to take down a keep here. Yeah,
and No Tomorrow should be wanting the same as well. iDream maybe going to get caught out. The power slide was used. There's the overpower. APOC is going to land. It's forcing the ice block there onto Tiger JK. He might be in a position to bolt, though. Oh, the Earthquake slowing everybody from No Tomorrow. So this is a small window where B-Step has a shot. They were able to disengage, but nothing really gained, at least not yet.
iDream bolted away, so that is bolt down for a little bit longer from him. Had to use that and Earthquake to get out. It's a nice win for No Tomorrow, but unfortunately No Tomorrow are down. Adaptation and Odin, not the end of the world. They still have the Wombo combo of Mosh Pit, Twilight Dream, Sulfurous Smash. And without Apocalypse, that's a good place maybe for No Tomorrow to get a fight, knowing that that's one part of the Wombo on the other side down.
Yeah, it is exactly what No Tomorrow. They were only successful in fights where they were able to break up the combo from their opponents, and now they have it for free in the fact that they're on cooldown. The Gust was used. Jason is in a terrible position. The Ring of Frost is going to get zoning. The Twilight Dream ends up hitting no one. Urho with the two-man mosh pit. Cap is going to get the Ancestral Healing, and that is going to be one down here for No Tomorrow. And sadly, Ragnaros looks like he's going to be sharing that same fate. 2-0 so far. The flight in, or excuse me, the overpower over. The flight in is the answer. Tiger JK getting the bolt. Will he keep trees up?
No, not today. Jason and Tiger JK are the only remaining members of No Tomorrow, trying to stop B-Step from winning game number 2 on No Tomorrow's favorite battleground, where they feel most comfortable, Dragon Shire. But it won't be enough. Jason finally falls, and No Tomorrow are going to fall in game number 2 to B-Step. But B-Step now one game away from taking the series, the first series that they'll have been able to win in HGC.
Yeah, and you know, they did a lot of things right there. The coordination between their heroics a lot of the time were very much on point. No Tomorrow got that one team fight where they were able to turn things, started maybe figuring it out. But overall, they came out on top. And I think a lot of the reason the game was the way it was purely on the fact that we were on Dragon Shire. And just like No Tomorrow is really kind of one of the major ones. I feel comfortable on that. B-Step, they had a couple of windows. Well, you know, weren't able to confirm it yet, like with the Dragonite, with APM. But overall... Yeah. I think they're very much showing that they are the stronger team.
Well, now No Tomorrow are one game away from being taken out in this series. We'll see if they could bring it back after this commercial break.
Sulfurous Smash is Ragnaros' first heroic ability. Ragnaros throws Sulfurous into the air, and after a short time later, it slams into the ground, dealing damage to all enemies in the target area.